Lake Volta is the world's largest man-made lake and is known for its beautiful scenery. It is also where thousands of trafficked children work every day. These children, some as young as 4 years old, work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. They navigate large fishing boats, bail water, pull up fishing nets, and dive under the water, which reaches depths up to 246 feet, to untangle fishing nets caught on tree stumps. Sometimes they get caught in the nets and drown. They are allowed one small meal a day, which they are sometimes allowed to eat only after working 4 to 6 hours, and that meager meal is sometimes withheld as punishment. And he's about 8 years old?
Yeah, so 8, yeah, between 8 and 9.
These enslaved children are forced to do work that even adults would find exhausting. Their overdeveloped bodies suffer microfractures, which weaken their bones and increase the likelihood of fractures or breakage. Even if they are rescued, the children often do not reach their full height. Signs of physical abuse, harsh living conditions, and injuries are commonplace. Thanks to Eric Piazza and his staff, 17 young boys and 4 girls were saved from these inhumane conditions. At the rehabilitation center, they received medical care and counseling and were finally free to laugh and play like normal children. They also received a basic education in a classroom setting to support their transition to school. Jojo and Manu, both 8 years old, and Ernest, who is 7, were rescued in the slum area of Tema, where they were living together in a wooden shack. They ran errands for drug addicts in exchange for bread in order to survive. The rescued children are united with their families, relatives, or foster parents once it is deemed to be a safe and stable environment. For children where this is not an option, they are placed in a shelter supported by Right to be Free. The children are now enrolled in school where they will receive an education that will place them on a path to personal and economic independence. Where necessary, Right to be Free supports the children's cost for school uniforms, books, and fees. Unfortunately, one young rescued boy named Senyo is not going to school. He fell while fishing and struck his chest on the wood seat of the boat. 3 years later, after his fall, he was rescued by Eric and was taken to the hospital for medical treatment.
In listening to the history and in examining him, what I find is that there is a bend in his spine. This bend, the spine is supposed to be like this, and his spine is bent this way. This bend comes with about 2 or 3 of his bones crushed. This bend is something that we call a gibbous. Now, what is happening then is there is compression on his spinal cord at that level. And so the function of the spinal cord from that level below is affected. And that is why his walking is affected, his control of his urine is affected, and his control of his feces is also affected.
Senyo undergoes further testing and the doctor says he will need spine reconstruction surgery. Right to be Free hopes to raise funds for his back surgery, which will cost an estimated $23,000. Here are Senyo's 2 older brothers, Yao and Kafu, who, according to Senyo, are still working in servitude for a fisherman on Lake Volta. Eric tracked the boys down and hopes to raise funds to rescue them soon before anything happens to them. And hopefully one day they will become like this young man, Never, who was rescued by Eric in 2004 and now assists him with his community outreach to stop child trafficking. Never was 8 years old when he was trafficked and worked for 3 years on Lake Volta before he was rescued. Now he helps Eric speak to villages where trafficked children are taken. Through an interpreter, Never articulately recalls his experience as a child slave working on Lake Volta.
Some of you will be surprised that tears will run through my eyes. It's very, very difficult. You are not ready to go into the water, but you are forced to go into the water. I have only 5 minutes. Sometimes I come out bleeding from the ears and then from the lips. because I went too deep into the water. And sometimes when you go, you were not able to remove the net from the stem that is holding it. And you have to come back and breathe and go back. Holding the edges of the canoe to relax a little bit. Your wicked master will land the paddle on your knees. This is a paddle wound. This is a paddle wound. I was still bleeding, but I was still working. That was when I need my mother most. I just missed my mother by then. It was very, very bad. But there was a good news. In 2004, this man you are looking at here, he doesn't look like a rich man. And he's not rich too. Do you know why? He invested all the money he has on us, on we the traffic children, so that we can have a better future. He came like an angel and he rescued me. I completed senior high school. The secondary school, though. I went to Data Link University. I've done with my diploma. And still through him, I know I'm going to do my degree and master's. That it is very, very important for every child to be in school. Then the community here will be a better place for us. Thank you and God bless you.
These are some of the children that were rescued this year. With your support, one day all traffic children will be free and have an opportunity to go to school like never. Every child has the right to be free.
Kosisikeleli Afrika Malupakanisu Dumorayo Israel mitanda zoyetu Kosi sikelela tina lusapo